Hi,
Okay.
everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to a special Halloween edition of Nalo's Thrift Talk. I am Frida Kahlo.
And I am Devil Girl.
And I'm Jim Bob.
Better known as, do you want to introduce yourself, Tim?
Yeah.
Jim Bob.
Better known as Tim Taylor.
Our wonderful friend Tim is joining us as our guest today. And in real life, other than today, I am Nay.
And I'm Lola. And we are thrifters and resellers on Poshmark, eBay, and Depop. And this is a YouTube channel all about thrifting and making it part of a sustainable lifestyle and reselling as a way to get out of the traditional 9-to-5 job world. And so today, Tim, do you want to talk a little bit about you and your YouTube channel as well?
Yes, I have had a spinal cord injury since 2003. And I recently started a YouTube channel called This Is Wheel Life, as like a pun to This Is Like Real Life. And I do stories and random paralyzed shenanigans on my channel to help others that may be injured or caregivers or just anybody that's curious about the spinal cord injury and paralysis in itself.
Yes, and it's an awesome, and I love that Kim not only Tim
Bob.
Yes, Tim Bob. I love that Tim not only keeps it real on his show, but he also adds some humor to it, where you might not necessarily find humor in life. You have to laugh about everything, and so it's not only very honest and very, he goes there. He goes to where, like people have questions about things that they're afraid to ask. He answers them, and he's not afraid to answer anything or talk about anything, even when it's difficult, so that's awesome. And he's always also puts a comical spin on it, which is great. So
I try to.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Tim, what's your history and love for Halloween? Since that's why we're
yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. So when I was 6 or 7 or so, we'd go trick-or-treating and everything, and that was kind of like my first love for it. And then my dad made us a graveyard out of he just took like pieces of wood and cut up gravestones and stuff and put names on them and lights, and we stuffed scarecrows and all kinds of stuff and put it in the graveyard, and it actually made like our local newspaper. And being a kid, that was awesome. So they came out and took pictures, and I'd actually like to find that article at the library if they still have it.
that's awesome.
That's kind of where everything began for me.
Cool. Yeah, I bet that's in the archive somewhere. So you also, not only do you love Halloween, but you thrift items all year round, and you also are a reseller like us.
I am.
So.
And I am always looking for Halloween decorations, either for myself or to sell on eBay, as well as clothing and hats and anything and everything from A to Z, as it says on my at the top of my store on eBay.
Yes, very cool. Okay, so we will tell you a little later on in the show. You can we have a contact slide for Tim too, so you can find out. You can see where to find him everywhere. So we'll show you that later, but just a little brief bit about our guest. And now,
yeah. So we have our usual segments that we will do a little Halloween spin on. And before we get into that, I wanted to mention that we do have our normal showtime tomorrow. We're going to be doing a Goodwill Blue Box unboxing completely without having looked at any of it, except for the jewelry box. I did sort through that because there's so much jewelry. But that's one of the most requested shows that we do. So tune in for that tomorrow.
And I have a plus size box coming.
Yes.
They
did snag a plus size box after 3 or 4 tries.
Oh my gosh, yes, we've been trying for weeks, and finally I grabbed one.
Yeah. And we are starting up a mailing list, which is called Background Noise, and it's going to be a roundup of all kinds of interesting stuff around the web to listen to and watch in the background while you're listing. So I'll put the link in the show notes so you can sign up for that. And I was hoping to get it up and running this week. I think it's going to go out next week for the first time. So it'll be on Tuesdays once I have it all set up.
And it's going to be a compilation of our suggestions for other, podcasts, other YouTube shows to watch, like Tim's,
Awesome.
and also, inspiration for when you're listing, motivational excerpts, music, all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, so mix it like entertainment and also some personal development and more reseller knowledge. And if you do have anything you'd like us to maybe consider sharing in it, feel free to email us.
Yes, definitely.
So that said, we will launch into what we're wearing that's thrifted.
Yes.
Spooky Halloween edition. Oops. Let's see, that's the end.
Okay, so
Tim, you want to go first since you're our guest of honor today?
Sure. I actually found this skeleton T-shirt. It's like, I think it's a play on like Jamaican kind of colors on it. Rastafarian.
Oh yeah.
Green, yellow, and the red. And I think he's a DJ, if I'm not mistaken. And I found my hat. It says Taylor's Storage or Rental in the city, kind of near where I am. Well, you can't really see them, but the jeans I have on are thrifted as well. Or am I not wearing jeans? No, I'm just kidding. So,
him as a joker.
Yeah. I think that's about it for what I'm wearing. There is some stuff in the background. I can get to that.
And what about your mask? Did you also thrift your mask?
No. I did buy one on eBay.
That's kind of thrifting.
Yeah, I did. And this one, I ended up going to the Halloween store a couple nights ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the last one. I'm not that lucky to find this cool of mask out there, but I have found some other masks though.
Well, it's awesome. We love your costume.
Thank you.
And if you look in our show art too for today, you'll see that Tim had he made his chair a John Deere tractor, and he was like the farmer with the tractor. It was awesome. Yeah. So he put that together. What an awesome costume. And especially like creativity to integrate your chair into your costume. That's just awesome.
Brilliant.
So yeah, that was really cool. So
yeah.
So I am wearing today. I did buy these for like $3 or something on eBay. I did thrift the wig at Goodwill. They have a bunch of Halloween stuff. I think I paid like $2.99 for it. I just thrifted these earrings, these awesome big 80s earrings. When I was with Lola the other day in Philly, they were $2.50. They had a jewelry sale at that local thrift for 2 for $5. So I got these, and I got some other stuff. So, and then this awesome gaudy thing is it's like a big oversized metallic 80s shirt, and it was actually in the Halloween section. I got it last year, and it was in the Halloween section at Goodwill, but it's not really a Halloween costume. It's actually an 80s. It's got the shoulder pads and everything. It's actually a vintage 80s top. So
nice.
Yeah, it is very itchy. So that is one thing because it's and it's very it's almost like wrapping yourself up in one of those foil blankets because it's also very hot. So, but it's a cool looking shirt. So this is, and I was gonna actually sell it, but it has a rip on the side, and so I'm just gonna keep it in my Halloween costume stash. So
I would totally rewear that for like New Year's Eve or something.
Oh yeah, it's totally, and I could probably repurpose it somehow, because it's just oversized and kind of frumpy, but I could probably melt it because it's a long length too, where it is kind of like a belted tunic or something. But
yeah.
So, and I showed. Do you have the picture of the label that you pull up?
Do.
So it's so it's, I don't know the brand, but it's definitely 80s, straight up 80s. You can see made in the USA, imported fabric. It's Lori of California, and it's that huge, oversized, kind of boxy 80s look with the shoulder pads. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's a fun top.
I feel like I have something in my death pile, maybe that's the same brand. I recognize that tag, but
yeah, I'm sure it was around back then, and
yeah,
but
super 80s.
Oh yeah.
So I cheated. I'm not wearing anything thrifted. My amazing flower crown is from Etsy, and it is incredibly well made, and I love it. So I might link to the shop. Not at all affiliated, just totally happy with it. And then my dress I stole from my mom. But I do pick up these Mexican dresses whenever I see them at the first store.
Lola's mom is actually Mexican.
And yes, as am I. My mom actually being Mexican. Yeah, I think she bought this either in Mexico or in San Antonio, I forget. But I love it. It's so pretty. And I almost wore this exact outfit to a wedding last weekend. And even though I switched out the dress I was wearing, I still got stopped on the street afterwards and was asked if I was in a Halloween costume and who I was. So,
oh, that's funny. Well, I love the Frida touch, the unibrow.
Yes. Yeah, I really wanted to get like a stuffed monkey because, if you know, one of her paintings, she has a self-portrait monkeys, and I did not get my act together. But
you definitely look the part of Frida, though. Today. That's awesome, and she did proudly rock the unibrow. So
yeah,
of her, that was her. She was proud about it. And yes, but you do it very well, Lola.
Well, I naturally can cultivate a unibrow, and I was kind of bummed I actually did pluck my eyebrows last weekend before the wedding because I could have just left it and been totally natural.
Yeah, I guess so. With your Mexican heritage, you probably
I have very dark hair. So
yeah,
it's easy. Okay. I think I see Halloween decor behind both of you.
Yes, you do. So, Tim, our guest, do you want to go first and tell us what thrifted items of home decor you have behind you?
The lights that you see hanging up right over here, they are actually thrifted from the local Salvation Army. When I found them, I couldn't let them go. I couldn't sell them. I figured they'd go up on my shelf. And there's little pumpkins on top of the boxes right over here. I can't remember the name of them. There is candles in them, but they're made of like metal, and they came with like hooks. Those I hung on to as well, and I think that's it for like the thrifted stuff.
But you have a whole awesome display behind you. Yeah, Jack Skellington, right? From
Yep.
Cool. He's Nightmare Before Christmas is one of my favorites too. I love that movie. I'm a big Burton fan. So,
do you think it's a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
It's a hollow Christmas movie.
It's both.
I was gonna say I say both.
Oh yeah, and that's why it's great too, because you can, it's like from this point forward, like all season you can watch it. Like So okay, so I have behind me. I'm going to talk about these a little bit later in the show, but this is called it's an Anna Lee doll, and they are actually collectible. This one I'll talk a little bit about like what this particular one goes for, but they have a very distinct kind of painted on face, and I'll be talking about another type of similar Halloween doll too later, but so that's one of those. And this is that was my mom's it's not thrifted, but it is a hand-me-down because my great aunt collected those, and my mom and my aunt inherited like half of the stash of from her. So this is one that was in my mom's collection from my great aunt. So, and then this I got at Goodwill for $2. She hangs.
That's awesome.
This is actually plastic. It's not like one of the ceramic houses, although it looks like it. It does light up, but I don't have batteries in it right now. So, but it's a cute little ghost house that my kids like, but they've killed the batteries on it. So, but I thrifted that too for like $1.99, and I thrifted my cup too for today.
That's a great cup.
I have iced coffee, and this was 99 cents at Goodwill. I just got this for the show last week. So
nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm like copying out again. I don't have any Halloween decor, but I do have a
home decor.
what? So
Okay. Halloween.
This is a little preview for tomorrow. I bought a piece of thrifted home decor off of the Goodwill, shopgoodwill.com. And I have been really, really pleased with every item I've gotten there. It's packed incredibly well, and I've never had a problem with anything breaking, even buying breakable stuff, which this is. So I thought I would add this to our unboxing tomorrow, do a little, experience of unboxing something bought on Shop Goodwill, as well as the Goodwill blue boxes. So
awesome.
Stay tuned for that tomorrow.
Okay, a little bonus, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a fun tease. Now I'm curious to know what it is, because I don't even know what it is.
It is not Halloween related, I will say that, but it is
okay.
collect, and it should be fun, hopefully. Okay. And with that
brings us to our topic of the week.
Our main segment, which is thrifting for Halloween, thrifting to flip, thrifting to decorate your own house, thrifting for your own costume, little bit of everything.
Yes. So
Nate, a lot of our tips, I think, came from your brain. So maybe you want to dive into some of your
okay. My first tip I would say is to check the Halloween section at the thrift for the awesome vintage items. Now, they have a lot of Halloween costumes, like prepackaged Halloween costumes, that were originally from Walmart or whatever, in with these too. But they also I have found some amazing vintage dresses, just like this shirt. This is not a Halloween costume, but it was in with those Halloween items. And I forget what I paid for it, because it was last year, not this year, but I think I've only paid for like $5 or something for it. And so you can find those hidden gems, especially with the vintage items, in with the Halloween costumes. And a lot of the thrift stores will put out a whole section of Halloween, so they make it easier for you because it's already cherry picked, and you can just go in there and find. But so that's one tip. And then Lola, you said that you had overheard the manager say something at Goodwill.
Yeah. So I was recently at so there's actually, thankfully, there's 3 Goodwill locations within like a pretty small radius of where I live now. And I was at the one that's closest to the huge college campus that's near me. And it was really picked over. But I did hear the manager saying that it is hands down the busiest time of year for them right before Halloween, because everyone from the college campus heads on over to Goodwill to find their costumes for the Halloween parties and stuff that happen on campus. So, and sure enough, while I was there, I also heard a lot of, college-age kids going through the rack. Like, oh, this would work for this would work for that. They didn't really have much. They did have one rack of like children's costumes, but they didn't have the full, like you're talking about some thrift stores where they pull out all the vintage and like funky stuff and put it on a rack. That was all just kind of mixed in with the regular stuff. But I was wondering if actually for me, being like in the college town, I might have better luck after Halloween because I'll have less confidence.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, people will donate especially with college kids, they'll be donating back the stuff that they.
Right, that's true too. Yeah, because they'll just wear it once and then they're done with it. So I'm curious to see kind of how things play out in next few weeks.
I think it's more fun too if you're actually going for a Halloween costume to get it at the thrift store, because it's so much, like, you can be so creative. It's so much better, and then just getting a pre-packaged costume that's got everything there. I think it's fun. So.
Yeah, absolutely. At first I was like, oh my gosh, these like darn amateurs here, finding a Halloween costume. And it's like, wait a minute, this is actually great. Like they're reusing stuff. They're maybe learning, experiencing the thrift store for the first time, and maybe we'll start shopping there for the regular clothes. Like, you never know. And it's so much better than buying a brand new costume that's made of plastic.
Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, my kids, they're just like at that age, especially my oldest one is at like that tween age where he wants like that, kind of prepackaged costume. And it's when I was a kid, I have like these I don't know how women wear these fake lashes, because I feel like there's, and I don't know if it's a piece of hair or there's something in my eye, and I'm just so sorry, I'm fidgeting. But yeah, my aunt used to, every year, she used to make me Halloween costumes.
My mom did too. Yeah.
She would pin me up. I would hate it though. Now I appreciate it. And I have the pictures to show, like I had the most awesome Halloween costumes, but she would begin in the summer and she would pin me up. I remember standing on my aunt's dining room table, like on the chair, and and she would pin me up, and then she'd be like, okay, turn, turn, turn. And I would have to stay there. It felt like eternity, you know, and I was like, can I get down? Can I move? And then I'd move a little. Don't move. You know, it was like, but I had the coolest costumes because my aunt, and she would, you know, buy all the fabric. We'd look at the patterns like way ahead of time. So I never had like those, you know, prepackaged costumes, but.
Yeah. My mom is also like that too. And I remember one year she made, like, she spent months making a Captain Hook costume for my cousin.
Oh my gosh.
And it was a thing of beauty. It was like so intricate. And he put it on and immediately looked in the mirror and was terrified of himself.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. Well, my aunt used to make them for my cousin too, because my cousin and I are both only children and we grew up together. Oh. And so we would both, and then we would go trick-or-treating together and we'd have all the pictures, you know, taken together. Yeah, it was, nice. One time we were like a cowgirl and a cowboy. Like she was trying to make us match sometimes too, which was really funny. That's cute. Yeah, so it was fun.
Real quick, John in the chat has a great question. Are there related items that are good sellers all year round? We are going to talk about that. So
absolutely, and the answer is yes.
Yes.
So. And our next point actually kind of plays into that, I think. Mm-hmm. So get your items that could be used for costumes, like your vintage hats, jewelry, like, you know, like jewelry like this, you know, like shirts like this, anything like that could be used for Halloween. Get them, you know, it's never too late or too early. So just get them listed all year round, mm-hmm. in advance of Halloween. And yeah, Lola, do you want to take the next one?
Yeah. So one thing that is always fun to pay attention to is like what the big fads are or the trends that are happening, especially like online, like what the memes are and people are posting things over and over again. Those tend to become really popular Halloween costumes. And a lot of those things kind of double as like someone's also looking for them outside of Halloween. So one of my favorite examples recently was like the Stranger Things season with the amazing 80s costume. Mm-hmm. Like I'm sure there are tons of people who dressed up like the kids or like the parents, mm-hmm. and those 80s fashions are super in for, you know, just like regular fashion right now. So you could list like an amazing patterned 80s shirt and someone's going to dress up as 11 and wear it, or just wear it because it's awesome and interested in buying it for that.
Too, when there's like there's a new Star Wars movie coming out, when there's like new, you know, common, you know, like already popular pop culture things that are coming, you know, that are coming into, you know, like there was a new Lion King movie that just came out. You know, I think that kind of revives those popular things too.
Totally, yeah.
And you know, it's funny. Like, also pay attention to like pop culture things as far as like, you know, music and things that are happening. Like, you know, people might be a certain rap artist or a certain whatever. But I know I saw one, and you know, some people might be a little offended because it's, you know, religious, but you know, it depends on how you look at it. There was one that it was Jesus Take the Wheel, and it was Jesus. Barry Underwood with a steering wheel, with a car steering wheel in his hand, and he was dressed up as Jesus. So it was Jesus Take the Wheel. So, you know, things like that are kind of, you know, so pay attention to all kinds of culture things. So
I love it, but I'm weird like that.
It was funny. I found it funny. I know some people might get a little insulted, but it was funny. So
Diane has a great tip. Anything that Renaissance Festival costumes, that's a great example of something that might be worn for Halloween, but people are looking for, especially in the spring, when all the Renaissance festivals seem to be like in May and June.
And that kind of brings us into our next one too, because patterns for costumes all year round, buy them and thrift them. And I think the best things, sorry, I'm choking on my coffee. I think the best things, some of the best patterns that sell are costume patterns. And Renaissance patterns are one of them too. Renaissance, a lot of those, I've sold them for like upwards of $30, $40. It depends on what costume. You have to do your research, obviously. But costumes are a big thing, and in patterns, so look for your patterns.
School plays.
What's that?
School plays. I just thought.
Yeah, that's true. Like they would sell all year round for that too, and costumes all year round for that. So also craft materials, fabric, all of that. And I actually have a couple things like right here that I just wanted to show. So look all year round for things that can be kind of worn all year, but there's people that are kind of like that goth, that they're into like that goth kind of look, but also this could be a Halloween dress. It's super cute.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So I thrifted this like back in the summer. Didn't get it listed this year. I was kind of hoping that, when I hit my goal weight, I could actually wear it because I love the dress. But this would be a good example of something that you could thrift for, and get up for Halloween. This too, it's a Sugar Skulls dress. And that, it's like a pinup dress, but it's all Sugar Skulls. That too could be something that, people would wear it all year depending on their style, but especially for Halloween, you get it up in advance of Halloween. So
yeah, totally. And then we sort of touched on this already, but whenever you see the Halloween costumes, like either at the thrift store or at retail stores after Halloween that are marked down, you can pick them up and list them, just like Tim said, for costumes all year round, like for school plays. I had those amazing red shoes that I can't bear to part with. I was thinking about wearing them as like ruby slippers and be Dorothy, but didn't come around to it. But like I could.
Those shoes are amazing, but I could wear a wedding if you had the right dress. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be.
Oh, totally. But I'm sure if I listed them outside of the Halloween kind of time of year, some theater company, community theater place is going to want them for their prop. So there's always those kind of reasons for buying stuff. And then especially for kids, like kids always dress up all year round. If a family's going to Disney, especially, people get really into, adults and kids get really into dressing up for Disney. And
the Disney parks too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you have a costume you're wearing one year, it's still probably going to be good next year, unless it's a super topical, like my favorite that's like completely dated now. But do you remember Left Shark from the Super Bowl like 3 or 4 years ago, I think?
No, I don't. Just, do you know Tim? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So one of my friends one year, she dressed up with a Bernie Sanders t-shirt and was Left Shark, which was like the best political pun, but obviously no longer relevant, kind of dated. But if you're something that's like a character or a person or a,
so
those are great costumes.
My kids actually, I kept their first Halloween costumes ever. I kept just for nostalgic reasons. But beyond that, my kids don't want to recycle their costumes for the following year, even if they still fit. And they don't want to pass, like my older one, my younger one, and my middle one don't want it passed down. So they want their own new. So what I will do is I'll save the packaging for their Halloween costumes. And I will, make sure that hopefully they don't ruin it, and I'll save all the packaging, keep everything together. And then, sometime before Halloween the following year, I'll list it, so that I can kind of, make my money back on it, so that's another thing that you can do. If you have kids, you can sell their costumes, but just save all the packaging. If you buy like something prepackaged, that is, or even if you don't, you can still, sell their.
Yeah, totally. And we have a bunch of questions for Tim. We were also going to talk a little bit about Halloween collectibles, like decor and.
Yeah, so Tim is our man in that.
Tim's the expert. Yeah, so maybe we should just kind of dive into interviewing you, Tim. Is that cool? You ready?
Sure.
So you talked a little about how you first got into Halloween. How did you get into collecting and learning about sort of the amazing bolos that we'll share in a minute on
Um,
eBay and stuff like
just
that?
just over time, you just kind of fall in love with it. When you see those ones that are stuff that reminds you of years past, stuff like that, like the popcorn, like they call it like the plastic popcorn things with the ghost and the cat and stuff like that. It reminds me of like the early '80s, like when I'd go to my grandma's house or something like that. The blow molds, it just reminds you of like another time. Um, and some of them are really really good money. Depending on some of the German ones are really sought after. And if you can find those out and about in the wild, like at a yard sale or something, definitely don't pass that up.
Yeah, Tim sent us some of the eBay solds for some of these. I like literally my jaw dropped. I don't think I've ever been
It's crazy
so surprised.
say, but
Yeah.
serious collectors like Tim. Now I know Tim, you're savvy because you're a thrift store like us, so you know where to find the stuff so it's not. But other people will. They're serious collectors. They'll pay the price for it.
Yep. Yep.
So this is the question. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
I'm always curious about collectors and how they decide what to keep, what to sell, and what they're looking for. And I know, I have some collections. I'm never quite sure exactly, like what my holy grails are and stuff. But some people like seem to have a really, really, tight focus on. So how does that work for you? What do you keep? What do you sell?
Like with the Lemax houses, to me, it's more my favorite piece more so. I mean, yes, it matters if it's the piece that's worth a decent amount, but I wouldn't consider myself a hardcore collector. I'm very, I guess, new to it and very. If I had the room and the money, I would have like a whole room dedicated to it. But a few years ago, when I first discovered it, I was just browsing decorations on YouTube, and I seen somebody had like a whole like room full of these houses, and like there's a train set, there's like a circuit, or not a circus, but like a crazy clown section. There's all kinds of houses.
Cool.
Yeah, and so those are big right now too. Some of the clown ones, but when it comes to like collecting them, like say if I buy it online, you got to be really careful with these ones because they can break really easy. Like say that there's like a ceramic tree on the corner, or like the chimney or the roof. I've gotten pieces in the mail like that are, it maybe not fault of the seller, but I don't know, just stuff like that you got to watch out for.
Yeah, they're really fragile. I guess shipping them too as a seller, you have to know. I know some of them come in like those styrofoam mold kind of things, in the boxes. But if they don't have that, you really have to package them carefully.
Yeah.
I don't think I would actually ship mine without that. I'd be too scared to do that.
Yeah, that's.
The very first one I got was the one up here on the corner of the. It's the monster one. It's got like Frankenstein and the mummy. That was the very first one I found. Yeah, some of the prices on these are like crazy.
So are these anomalies, or are these pretty standard for the like more sought after?
Yeah, they're pretty sought after. I don't know if they make those ones anymore. You can't get them at like Michael's and stuff like that. So definitely like more retired kind of pieces, I guess.
So these are Lemax. Are these all Lemax brands?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So is that the most popular collectible brand, the Lemax? I know I've sold a couple of them. They have Christmas villages too.
Yep. There's Department 56. There's Hawthorne Village. Hawthorne Village is another one. They're more for like Universal Monsters, I think, more so. The Wolfman, the Mummy, and all that stuff. But these are more just like a general like vampire, witch, stuff like that.
Okay, so most of yours the Lemax then? Most of yours.
Yeah. All my pieces are Lemax. Okay. I don't have any of the Christmas pieces. I have maybe a few of them are Department 56, but for the Halloween ones, those are all the Lemax Spooky Town.
Yeah. And those are some crazy prices, Wow.
Yeah.
So definitely, I mean, look for these. And I know I've found them in the middle of summer and whatnot. They're just with the with the seasonal, the holiday items, and they also we'll talk about Christmas at Christmas time, but they make the Christmas villages too. So.
Yep.
So I have two questions for you.
Sure.
One is, do you have a recommendation if someone watching us were to list one of these, whether you do a buy it now or an auction? Because it seems like you did well both ways.
Yeah, I would say probably auction it, because some people might fight over that piece depending on the piece.
Mm-hmm.
If it's one that's it's the general price of, say it sells for like $4.99, $4.99, that might be all you get for it. So you could shoot for that, or a little higher, a little lower, whatever. But mainly probably stick to an auction.
So if you see one that really doesn't have a lot of solds or no solds, you've got something rare as a collector, that would be probably something you want to auction.
Yep.
And these auctions, were these like within the last month or so? So that was like Halloween-ish time, or was this kind of all year round?
People buy them all year round, but especially around now, when they're getting their pieces out, they might break something, or something might not work. So they might need that new piece to put in their collection.
So I would also think maybe after Halloween, that would be, if someone, like you just said, breaks part of their collection,
Yep.
They might be looking for that. It's fresh in their mind right after Halloween, and they're going to want to put it away for next year.
Which I had a buyer buy a broken one off me. Sorry if that's real loud, you guys. My phone's right by my microphone.
Okay.
But I listed it as broken, and he knew it didn't work. He was good with the electronic part of it, because it has like lights.
People can, they're
Yep, they'll still buy the broken
I
ones.
wonder too, if you have a part on one that's broken, you can buy a broken one, to replace, or parts of them. There's but there's people that will replace parts of them too.
Yep.
So what is your biggest Holy Grail item?
I haven't found any, but I'd say it's probably like the Universal Monsters, maybe like the Wolfman, or like a Frankenstein. I'd love to find one of those in the wild.
What brands are those?
It might be just Universal Monsters, like just that kind of brand.
Okay.
I know there's I can't think of it offhand. Like I don't know, it's like the Mego. There's the Telco. The Frankenstein sells really well. It's like one of those Telco animatronic guys. The Gorilla sells really well. I wouldn't mind finding one of those in the wild for a low price, because I can't pay like $700-800
right,
for it.
But being a thrifter, you might, and plus as a collector and a thrifter, you know what to look for. So that's another added bonus,
Especially out at yard sales and stuff like that too.
At yard sales, I bet, are another place where you can.
People don't know what they have, or
maybe estate sales. Somebody was a collector and they passed away. Their family is selling it. So, what was your all-time best find?
Probably the best buy would be the one on the corner here, the very first one I found, with the Frankenstein and the mummy, because I kind of gravitate toward Frankenstein just because I've had so many surgeries. I think that's kind of why he has
you can kind of relate.
Yeah.
Okay. So somehow I'm drawn toward him. And when I found that piece, when I first discovered the Limax, I was just kind of so excited that I got that one.
Very cool.
And I can share the video of.
Oh yeah,
video. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they all move. They have guys that pop out.
This is Tim's display here.
I have a bunch more, but they're not up. I don't have the room for them, so I just kind of keep them boxed up and save. And they have table accents as well.
It's going a little slow, but you can see, you can get the idea that
on my computer, and I uploaded it myself, so of course it's not working. But yeah, it's really awesome. I can link to this too.
And they all have sounds, and so So
yep,
very cool.
There you go.
I love the ghost in the window. It's so cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I love how they are awesome. They just make you happy. Like they're just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why you collect them.
If you go to YouTube and type in Lee Mack Spooky Town, you'll be amazed at the stuff people have.
Okay, that's a good tip for our viewers too.
That sounds like so much fun.
Very cool.
So do you have a really great flip from your Halloween collection that you remember? Or
I've a lot of the ones I've hoarded.
Yeah, you don't sell them. You end up keeping them, right?
Right. Yeah. Like these the little metal pumpkins. I hung onto those. But the candelabras that I showed you the other day, I got those for like 99 cents and sold them, I think, for 45 plus shipping.
I have that photo on here.
Yeah, so you can. So if you were to sell your entire collection, you could make a lot of money, probably.
Yeah.
But you're not going to want to know, which is But
unless it was like a medical reason or something I absolutely needed to, I probably wouldn't.
You kind of have an investment there, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so those are awesome. Those candelabras.
So were these like solid metal?
Yeah, I think they're cast maybe.
And you paid like $1 for them?
Yeah, 99 cents.
Wow. And they sold for 40. Now, with that plus they paid shipping, I'm assuming.
Yep.
And were they how were they heavy to ship?
Not really, no. I think just like a large flat rate box. I think I shipped it in.
So Tim is also the master of Frankenboxing, I should add. So Franken is not afraid to ship large items.
No.
Yeah.
I've shipped blow molds. I shipped wooden skis. You name it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you were talking the blow molds, Tim. You know a little bit about those as well.
Yep.
So some of those.
There's a lot of collectors with those. Like the orange one right there, 125. I actually have one very similar to that one. It's not out right now, but I do have one just like that.
So do you have those in front of you have a display in front of your house as well?
No, I didn't put any out. I do have the one ghost and the pumpkin one I had, and I have a scarecrow. Those are actually put away right now. I didn't do too much this year, outside wise.
But inside you have your whole.
Yeah, I always have to put up mine.
Wow. So you can see some of those. I mean, even for the ones that don't go for like the $400 or $500s, they still like $125. If you can thrift that for a few dollars, that is an amazing profit. So
yeah, I feel like that's the kind of thing you're going to find at a yard sale for like 25 cents because people just are like, I don't want to store this anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
a friend of mine, I'll have to show you a picture later. He has like literally his whole yard full. And I'll share that picture with you guys later. It's crazy how many he has.
Very cool.
It's so funny because I love the blow molds, but I hate the big like blow up ones that are like the modern version.
Yeah, my neighbors have I showed you the picture, right, of the big pumpkin that my neighbors have, Lola. Yeah, my neighbors, now that I live in suburbia, my neighbors have this huge, obnoxious pumpkin, and it's not like we don't have a sidewalk in front of our house. So when my son walks to school in the morning, he's got to like kind of squeeze by this enormous pumpkin to walk to his bus stop. Yeah, but I know it's fun. I'm being a little bah humbug about it. But
my neighbors in Philly would block the sidewalk with their like big blow up things. Like it's a public sidewalk. You have a front yard.
That's kind of I mean, it's like hugging the street. Like they don't have if they put it like on the side of their house, but they put it right in the front where there's no room. It's like. But
I feel very bah humbug about it. But.
Yes, I am. But people do go all out.
Yeah.
Definitely look for those kind of decorations too. The blow molds. Even like we have like some gravestones in our yard. That you can thrift those kind of things. People put out for displays, anything like that. So
the vintage decorations on this slide here. Are these just paper? They look almost like they just kind of fold up.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
They sold for over $125.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's been that seems like exactly the kind of thing you could get in just like a big box of ephemera and go through it and have no idea it's worth that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
sometimes paper is like,
there's a Hallmark one. It's like a haunted house or something. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's a paper one that kind of like folds out to be a 3D thing. And I know that one goes for hundreds.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Tim?
I don't, but I know the kind you're talking about. I haven't seen that one, but I'd like to see it. If you see it, let me know.
Yes. So we have
I could look at Halloween stuff all day.
We have some other questions for Tim.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about what collectors who are buying on eBay might expect if you're selling, but is there anything else we should know? It sounds like be very careful with any damage and disclose everything.
Are there any deal breakers? Like, are collectors picky about certain things that would just be a complete deal breaker on these things?
Yeah, like overpriced shipping. Like you said, if something's broken, you just got to make sure, like, if you're the lister, you take photos of the broken parts. Don't like dupe somebody out of something. List all the flaws. Like every time I put one away each year, it's like a tradition that something will break on one of mine, whether it's like the tree or, the chimney that broke off. It's just piece. You always have to have the glue nearby, but
yeah, so have your crazy glue. Now, if you do glue something, like if you have to crazy glue something on, and then you're going to list it, would you disclose that you had glued it, that it had broken?
Yeah,
I glued it because I guess the collector would probably be able to tell, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. So don't just go fixing something and then just try to pass it off as Okay. And as a buyer, would you buy something that's been glued like that?
Yeah, as long as it's not like super noticeable. If it's a good glue job or whatever, I would definitely buy it. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that should be like avoided that might look like a bolo, but maybe is a knockoff brand or?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. With like the blow molds and stuff like that, you can have like newer repop ones that aren't as sought after, or like the paper mache pumpkins. Some of those two are more like repops that you got to be careful that you don't buy those and like somebody doesn't really know, which I'm not very well versed in that stuff yet.
But you want the true vintage ones? You're saying?
What's that?
You want the true vintage ones, not like the
right. Yeah. Right. Yep.
Are there are there knockoff Lamaxes? Or is there like?
Yeah, like the Department 56 kind of go back and forth with each other. Like they're very similar with some pieces. Like some of the witch ones look kind of similar. They don't move, I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't call them like knockoffs or anything like that.
I'm sure there's like generic, like dollar, not Dollar Tree necessarily, because it's really going down that.
Kmart one.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like generic, like department store kind of knockoff ones that you
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So are those still worth picking up, or you just like skip them altogether?
I myself probably wouldn't, unless it was Kmart, because they were all closing. So some of the telco stuff from like the 90s and the 80s, that stuff can be worth like a good penny if you can find it cheap enough.
Walmart's probably one that would, like if you see a cheap Walmart one,
right,
not to pick up
right in the Christmas section.
Yeah. So when is it? It's along those lines. So some of them might look like a bolo. So you have to look for to make sure it's actually the brand.
Yeah. Yep. Make sure you're looking them up and make sure you're semi-familiar with them. Yeah.
And when is it better to add to your collection? When it's in season or off season? When do you usually add year round?
Yeah, I'd say off season. Try to find them like springtime when nobody's thinking about it. They're just like, I'll find it in their attic and they list it for low. Something like that.
So that also goes to show that you should be listing these things all year, looking for them all year. Yeah.
Yep.
Or if you're not a collector, snap it up from someone who's selling it underpriced and then resell it.
Right.
In September.
But yeah, people buy them all year long.
Yeah. Are there any unique sourcing or selling opportunities for collectors? Are there like any conventions, or is there some sort of niche website or Facebook group that might be a good place to?
I think it's like the AmericanStore.com or something like that. They sell quite a bit of Limax stuff. I don't know the exact website name offhand, but I thought it was American Store. I've never been to any Limax, but there is a lot of Facebook Limax Facebook groups. I'm in a couple of them. Actually, I put in my idea for if you write in a story, like say you have an idea for a house, and you send it to Limax, and they pick your idea, they'll create it, and you get the free first one. So that's kind of cool.
That is so cool.
And that's something that I could see you doing, Tim, because you're like Mr. Ingenuity, like you invent everything,
Yeah. My idea was the roller coaster.
That is cool.
So, like a roller coaster with like ghosts all over it and stuff like that. They didn't pick mine. They picked another girl's idea.
So you did submit one.
Yeah, I did submit one.
Cool. Do they do like one a year, or is it just kind of like?
I don't know if they still do it, but they did a couple years ago. They picked one that was called Boo Bee Traps, like booby traps, but it's Boo Bee Traps.
That's
you.
That's kind of cool.
Do you source from local Facebook groups too, or do you ever find them there?
Yes, there is a girl that's over in Cleveland area. She's in one of those like modeling groups. She's pretty cool.
Okay.
We kind of connected a little bit, but
so you kind of know like a little bit of a local community that collects it as well.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's more just national or worldwide.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's really it's an interesting topic, and it's really fun. Like I see your villages, and like I said, they just make me happy. It's just like
they are.
Yeah,
cool.
it's fun.
And this is
my nephews love them.
Yeah, I can see why.
The outside of your house, is that correct?
Yeah, that was a few years ago. The year my brother passed away, we put that up, and that's kind of why I haven't really done the outside stuff. Not to go like sad or morbid, but I just kind of haven't been into it.
No, that's understandable. Yeah.
But that ghost actually like blew across we put it up on like fishing line, and it actually like would move across the yard.
Oh, awesome! Very cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, do you have anything else to add to? Anything else for us to add to?
I don't. I have a spooky story, kinda.
Okay. It's Halloween. We'd love to hear it.
I had a bat prank. Like one of those rubber bats. I picked on one of my helpers. I used the fishing line to go up to the ceiling and over, and then I dropped it down in her lap, and she freaked out. That was pretty good. I'll have to show you the video.
Oh, you have a video of it?
Yeah, just don't tell her.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, Tim is definitely a prankster, so I could totally see.
Yeah, for sure.
Good time for pranks. Like it's
I'll show you. I'll show you my garbage.
You keep your helper on your toes, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. They have fun.
That's good. I was going to talk a little bit about these and the buyer's choice. I am not. I know like Jason's mom Peggy is really, really good with the buyer's choice. She talks about it for Christmas. So if you're in the thrifting board, you can ask her about the buyer's choice items. And I am not by any means an expert, but I do know that these Anna Lee dolls, my great aunt collected them. And so the collection got kind of inherited by my aunt and my mom, and eventually it'll get passed down to me, and I will never get rid of them because I loved my great aunt. She was awesome. She would put out a big display of these every year, and you can see that the faces are kind of hand painted, and those are some of the bolos. Now a lot of them don't go for a lot, but still, if you can pick these up for like $5 or less, at a thrift store, you can make some money. So you can see that one witch, that one sells, and she's got a little bit of a different, I think they're a little bit different. So she sells for between like 120 on the high side to like 75-ish. And then the one in the middle you can see was $199. So look for certain ones. Now this particular one only will sell for about 30 to 50 plus shipping. And I say only because if you can pick this up for a couple dollars at a yard sale or something like that, then that's some good money. But they all have this very distinct face, and the Buyer's Choices also have kind of a similar look to them. This is Anna Lee, but the Buyer's Choices have like that kind of painted face too, and they have Christmas carolers, but they also have Halloween carolers, and those can also go for quite a good amount. I think I had some examples of those too.
Oh,
Cool.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but those can go also in the hundreds or more.
Oh, we didn't talk about these though, but these are some of Tim's examples of especially the German vintage.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh my god, $3,000.
Yeah, that's
crazy
amazing.
money.
So the German, yeah. So those are definitely bolos. So yeah,
I would love to find something like that.
Those must be harder to come across though, right? Because like I can imagine finding like the collectible, more modern collectibles at an estate sale. These must be like antique dealers are going to have them or something.
Yeah. These would be ones you find like convention or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, but so cool.
But I bet that there's that off chance that you could be at a yard sale or a flea market and somebody doesn't know what they have, and so definitely know what if you know what you're looking for. That's awesome. So all of those those things are collectibles. The Buyer's Choice, the Anna Lee, the department, all of them. Like there's a collector for everything. So
yes,
those are awesome. Though that's amazing. I would love to find like a $1,600 little ceramic guy. That would be, oh my gosh, very cool.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes there's something that's worth a lot of money that I would hope would catch my eye at, if I just stumbled across it. And I think these things would, but maybe not, like I could also see them and be like, those are probably just cheap, like.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like a paper decoration. You just think.
And I can see something like this in a thrift store just being amongst like the dollar store items.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And somebody would not know what they had. Yeah.
Right.
So
that's incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
So should we move on to our market report?
Oh yes, our market report, that's our newest segment, and we talked about it last week, our two most recent sales. So these, in order to show you reality, they might not be our biggest scores, they might be duds, they might be kind of in the middle, but we're just pulling our two most recent sales as of the day before. So you kind of get a candid look at our sales.
Oh, okay. So this is one of Tim's. Sorry, I was going to add in the.
No, that wasn't a sale.
Oh wait, that wasn't yours. That was what? Sorry, I messed up. Okay.
That's all right.
Here we go.
Yep, that was one.
I meant to move that to the other section, and I did not. Okay, so this was one of your sales.
Yes, that I picked up for, I want to say it was 99 cents at the Salvation Army, and that's actually been up for quite a while in my store. And the other day I got an offer. I had it for 18 or 20, and I think I took $10 plus the shipping and stuff. And it got good feedback, and I was happy.
Yeah, see, now
he was happy.
You look at that and you think, oh, it's a $10 sale. That you're automatically like, oh, that's not a great sale. But when you paid $1 for something, they're paying shipping too. You just turned your dollar into like an $8 profit or so. So
easy to ship. Like. Nothing to worry about breaking. Just stick it in an envelope.
Yep.
I love those sales. This one, I would have never thought it was.
So what is this?
Also, I don't know what it is.
that is an assistive trigger device that you wear on your finger. Say if you're going hunting, you would wear that. Say if you have a mobility issue to where you can't use your finger to pull the trigger, it's like that. Yep. So I figured, I had it sitting around for years, honestly. And, I found it the other day when I was cleaning out my eBay room, and I was like, I'm going to list it just for whatever, because my uncle wanted me to go hunting when I was first injured. I'd rather shoot an animal with a camera rather than a gun.
Yeah, that's me too. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
It just sat around collecting dust, and I said, you know what? Why not?
Cool. So
so
I bought that for $69.99.
Yeah. Yep. Free shipping.
And how much did it cost to ship? Did it went first class, I'm assuming? Or
yeah. It was actually really light. It was like 8 ounces or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it went first class.
Well, that is a score. So
yeah, definitely.
Very cool.
Which I guess in a way it kind of wasn't, but when I first bought it, I think it was like $89, but I mean, it's sat for over 10 years.
Yeah, so
or
you've had it
15
for a
years,
while,
so,
and yeah, and I guess
yeah,
that's also a
it's
good
not like,
tip. Like if like me with breast cancer, I know what people look for that. You have spinal cord injury, like Lola has, her CFS. Did I say it right?
Yes.
So we all have our own things, and we know like what people like us are looking for. So that's another thing that you can kind of, people with
like
mobility issues. Yeah, you can.
Getting rid of my wheelchair cushion because I have no use for it. It hurts my butt. Why? It's just
Really? It does?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah. I'm in the process of trying to figure out which one works best for me. Right now I kind of have like a Franken cushion, so that doesn't really help, but it gets me through for a couple hours.
So so things like that too you can sell. So that's awesome.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. And a great example too, of even if you're not actually making a profit, just to get rid of something you're not using and have that cash back in your pocket is always nice.
Yeah. So that's always a different kind of score, but
yeah. And since we're already selling on eBay, the amount of time it takes to, to list and ship one item is less than if you weren't already an eBay seller and trying to sell stuff out of your house. Because then you have the, learning curve, and you don't know how to ship stuff. And
yeah. Although Tim, like I said, is the master of shipping. He can Frankenbox anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to.
I just talk my brain in my helper's hands.
Yeah, that's okay. So
that was another one I just recently sold. Probably May or June, I came across the post in Free Cycle for 300 of these computer games from like the 90s, 2000s. He just wanted to get rid of them for nothing, and I offered him some money. And he said, "Well, if you want to make a donation to my church, you're more than welcome." So I gave him $20 for 300 of these games.
Wow.
I sold this one. I sold one for $328.
Oh my gosh, what a score!
Yeah, somebody in Germany, and I have like 7 boxes left. So I'm just kind of using these as like, because I was having problems paying for. Sorry, I feel weird talking with this mask on.
You can take it off if you want to. I mean,
it's going to take me a minute. I'll do it after the show. But I was having problems paying for catheter stuff, so it's definitely helping pay for stuff like medical stuff like that.
Awesome.
So, so they definitely came at a good time.
Were they all different, or were there duplicates that made it easier to list?
There was a couple of the same game, like 1, 2, and 3, but there's no doubles of the same.
But I bet they're pretty easy to list. I mean, you have the photo skills, but I bet they're pretty easy to list too. Can you just scan the barcodes and usually find them too?
I've never scanned them, but I just look them up, just big box PC game.
Yeah, so they're pretty much cataloged items, so that makes it easier, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that was that was great for free. You made, $35 plus they paid shipping. Yeah. Great sale.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool.
You.
Okay, so these are mine. So
okay, that's kind of ask of what I'm wearing.
Yeah. Oh, you were with me, I think, when I got this.
I think I do remember it. Yep. It's a nightgown. Yeah.
So I had some good sales, and then last night I decided to do a bunch of offers to Lakers on Poshmark on stuff that just wasn't moving. And so had 2 kind of low dollar sales from that. They were both from the bins. It was just great to get rid of them. They were making me sad because they were getting tons of likes and nobody was buying, and I was only getting low offers. And so I finally decided, you know what, they're probably just not worth as much as I was hoping they were. Yeah. And because I paid almost nothing, I'm happy to get, $8 profit from this at the end. So this was, probably, I don't know, 2 ounces or something. So super inexpensive. Happy to get $10 for that. And then this one, I really wanted to get like 30.
I remember that one too. Yeah.
But I just got so many like lowball offers around this price range. I finally realized I might just be hoping for too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I took this offer, and, I love this piece. I want it to be worn and enjoyed instead of just sitting in my closet. So sometimes I'm just, happy to get things out to a good home.
So again, while they're not, major sales, again, sometimes just clearing out and making offers when you only paid $1 a pound for it, you're still making a decent profit, and you're clearing out inventory. So
yeah, totally. And then Nadine.
Yeah, so I sold
this was $30 on $30 a pound. I forgot to delete the
yeah. Not 30 a pound. Okay, so this was $30. Yeah, so it was Jason Wu for Target, which we had talked in a couple shows back about all the Target anniversary collection items that they put out. Well, this is one of the more sought after ones. However, I was hoping, I'm not complaining, I sold it for $49.99. But I was hoping, it did the value of this bag did kind of go down a little bit with the influx of the new anniversary collection items. But I paid $30. I sold it for $50 plus shipping. So I still made, doing the rough math, probably about $15 on it or so. So it's not bad. So, and it was a quick sale, so that's still not a bad profit. I made my money back and then some. So, and I sold that on eBay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
this was Poshmark.
Yeah. So I just sold this one on Poshmark. And now I took an offer of $25 and they pay shipping on that. And it's an Anthro brand. It's not a well-known Anthro brand. It's kind of one of the ones that's kind of under the radar. I don't know if you know it, Lola.
I don't actually.
Okay. So it's one of those, it was just really funky and cool. Like that's why I picked it up. I paid $4.99 for it, but it sat for a long time. And that's kind of an example of, Anthro brands are kind of hit or miss. So you have to kind of, sometimes you're taking a risk with those kind of off the grid ones. Even though it was a cute style, it finally sold for, I took the best offer of $25, but that's still not bad because I paid $4.99. And so the profit they take, I made 20, so I made 15 on it in profit. So not bad.
I love your background too.
Oh, thank you. That was my old house. I had the exposed brick wall. I missed that. So
it works.
And we don't have a full news segment today, but we did want to mention this.
Mm-hmm.
If you're selling on Poshmark, they just added new wording to their labels that makes it very clear you're allowed to use any priority mail package from the post office. So
Mm-hmm.
if your post office doesn't want to accept you using a flat rate one or regional rate package, it's right there on your label.
So there were two things happening with Poshmark. One was items, they didn't realize that they had this $6.99 negotiated, or $6.97, I guess, negotiated rate with the post office. So some small post offices didn't realize this, and they were sending them back with postage due. Like they were arriving to the buyer with postage due, which was not supposed to happen. And so that was a big thing. That's why they put the initial, an initial label on it, like saying, accept it, it's whatever negotiated rate. So now with what was also happening was they were refusing the medium flat rates, the regional rates, and saying that you can't send it that way. It has to be just regular priority, which was not true. So now this label clarifies that. I did have that happen at my local post office. She was like, you can't use the medium flat rates. And I was like, yes, I can. She's like, well, I'll just put it through, but I don't, she thought that it was gonna, get sent back or something, but it was fine. So.
Mm-hmm. And now it's very clear. So hopefully.
Yeah, they just don't, like a lot of the post employees just are not educated about exactly what the deal with Poshmark is. So.
Yeah, so that's a really.
Would it be all right if I hopped off, you guys?
No.
Yes.
We were gonna close out and have your contact info, but if you head out. No, go ahead.
I really appreciate you guys having me on so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
we had a little bit of pain issues today, so we thank you for sticking it out with us.
Oh yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
and for working.
So there is Tim's contact information. You can find him on Twitter at TIMAY618. He's on Facebook. This is Wheel Life 1. And Instagram, this is Wheel Life with underscores. TT Uniques on eBay. Please go to his store, buy something from him. He sells some awesome items. And definitely subscribe to his YouTube channel. Not only is he a thrifter like us and a reseller, but he also talks about, life, what it's like, the real life of what it's like to have a spinal cord injury and be in a chair. And And like I said, he adds humor to it, honesty. So definitely tune into his YouTube channel, subscribe, like.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you, Tim, for coming on. We really appreciate
all that good stuff. All right, you guys are so welcome. Everybody have a happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
And just to wrap up, we have our question of the week. We'd love to know your best Halloween finds, and if you want to tag us in your Halloween costume, we will pick a winner, the best costume, and give away a $15 eBay gift card.
Yes.
And we will announce that at our regular show next week. So you have a week to tag us on Instagram.
Tomorrow, our next Friday show.
But we will be back tomorrow, as we mentioned, with the Goodwill Blue Box haul. And as always, you can connect with us all over the internet. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a note. Follow us on Instagram. And share this video.
Costumes on I had put a Facebook post up, and there's also one in the thrifting board. So if you want to post your costume pictures there, or tag us on either of our Instagram accounts with your costume, and we'll pick the best one, and we will send you a $15 eBay gift card.
Yeah,
so cool.
Thanks again to Tim, and we will hopefully see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow for our Goodwill.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
You guys are awesome. Appreciate it. Bye.